This podcast contains mature language. Listener discretion is advised.
Previously on The Lost Mine of Phandelver. Our heroes, Val, Grenton, and Kismet, managed to rescue their ally Sildor Hallwinter from within the goblin cave. Ensuring his safety, they returned to confront the remaining goblins, resulting in a vicious battle. In the midst of the battle, Val was knocked unconscious by a blast of Eldritch magic from Kismet, and Kismet himself was soon killed by the goblins' leader, Clark. Managing to narrowly defeat them, Grenton turned to check on his fallen friends. As he watched, Kismet's dead body convulsed and writhed, and somehow he returned to life. House of Crit presents The Lost Mine of Phandelver, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons adventure podcast. Chapter 4, The Aftermath. Kismet, you are standing on the deck of a ship, looking out over the ocean. The waves are rocking the boat pretty strongly. You see dark storm clouds overhead, out here in the open sea. The rain starts to pour down. All of a sudden, a large wave rocks against the side of the ship. You start to lose your feet. Go ahead, give me either an acrobatics or an athletics check, your choice.
9.
You lose your feet and roll across the deck as the boat pitches from side to side from the force of the wave. You roll and smash right into the side of the railing. Part of the wood rail kind of cracks, but you manage to stay on board as you wrap one arm around it to kind of steady yourself. The rain starts pouring in a heavy deluge. You see all hands on deck now trying to secure the rigging, trying to bring down the mast as quickly as possible. And all of a sudden, all around you, these water spouts just explode all around the ship as these massive tentacles start reaching up over the side of the ship, grabbing crew members. 2 are immediately lifted off of their feet, screaming as they're pulled underneath the waves.
Do I recognize these tentacles?
No, you have no idea what's going on here. What do you do?
Is this anything that do I remember anything from previous, or is this just as I'm moving right now? Let me see. Well, I'm going to see if I can run over and grab the helm.
Okay. You run up the steps onto the command deck of the ship. See the wheel is just spinning. It's unmanned at this point. 2 more tentacles reach up, grasping crew members.
And I'm going to attempt to grab the helm to straighten the boat and see if I can get us back even and sailing away from whatever the hell's happening.
All right, go ahead, give me an athletics check to try to grab the wheel and pull it straight.
4.
You grab hold of it and it turns you right off of your feet. You spill out onto the deck. Luckily, as a tentacle shoots right over the back of the ship and would have wrapped you up had you not hit the deck. The boat now is just lurching, spinning, almost as if it's in a vortex. It's just going around end by end. Go ahead, give me a dexterity saving throw.
18.
You start to pull away as the tentacles starts slamming down on the deck around you. You make it pulling yourself to the stairs to get off the command deck right as it wraps around your ankle and you're hoisted into the air. You have just a moment to see the main mast of the ship snap from one of the tentacles wrapped around it as you were pulled down under the waves. Just choking, gasping for air. You just pull deeper into the dark water.
Do I have my spear with me? Or have I lost that in the chaos?
Given your rolls, you still have the spear.
Can I attempt to pull it out and start jabbing at the tentacle?
Alright, go ahead and make an attack roll for me.
So that's 8.
8. You slide, the spear does slide into the tentacle, but it kind of undulates, pulling the spear out of your hand with the spear still connected to it, but you don't see it acting as if it's even remotely harmed by what you did. And you're pulled deeper, and right at the last moment when you're about to run out of air, you just feel this warm rush of water flow over you here.
I think I hate myself.
Entirely possible. But all of a sudden you can breathe. And down here, you know you're underwater. It's pitch black. You can feel the vibrations as what can only be the remains of your ship being pulled down somewhere near you.
With dark vision, do I see anything, or is it...
You try peering around, and then all of a sudden this amber light just bathes you. And as you focus, there's an eye glowing, almost as big as you are, with a massive black vertical slit down the middle of it. It just peers right at you. The glowing eye seems to drift closer towards you. Its size just distorts all sense of distance. But from all around you, you just hear this resonating voice come almost out of the very water itself. And it says, "Morsel, you have a spark, potential. You might have a use beyond nourishment. Should I spare you?"
Yes, Master. What would you like me to do?
Serve. Journey. Learn. And obey. And right as it says that, the tentacle teeth seem to sprout out of the suckers and just bites into your leg, drawing blood, and just this arc of pain shoots up your body. And then it releases you a little bit. You feel a small, still lingering pain. You look down, there is still one of the teeth just embedded in you, almost as if it intentionally detached it. Then this heavy, inky mixture of dark water just washes over you, filling your lungs. You can feel it suffusing your body, and it all goes dark. Your eyes flutter open, and you're laying on the cold stone floor, coughing up water. Alright, Grenton, as you shake the dead goblin off the end of your long sword, you look around and you see Kismet rasping, breathing, choking up a little bit more water. You see your brother laying on the ground, barely breathing. What do you do?
So I kind of just assess the room. I want to make sure that there's not anyone else, because again, we've been continuously getting surprised by more people. Just want to make sure I take a look around. Do I hear anything? Do I see any more?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
19.
19. You hear the flow of water from the small cavern that you were in prior to this one.
Okay.
And you hear every once in a while the kind of metallic sound of the chains of the wolves down below. Looking about this room now, able to really take it in without being attacked, you see in the center of the room is a small put-out campfire. The coals are, you still feel some warmth off of them, but they were snuffed out. You see the bodies of Clark, the wolf, and the 3 goblins in the room, your 2 compatriots. On the far side of the room from where you entered, you see several smashed boxes and barrels.
I thought you were going to say our heads.
Those 2. But you also see 3 large crates piled up against the corner amongst the smashed and ruined sundries.
Okay. So I can surmise that Kismet coughing up blood, he's not dead. So
Coughing up water.
Water? Okay, water. He's not dead.
He does not appear to be dead, but he seems in dire straits along with Val.
Okay. I'm gonna go check on my brother, Val, and make sure that I know he's unconscious. I'm gonna lay on hands, and I think I have 2 points left.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and use that and get him up as fast as possible.
So you rush over to Val and place your hands on him, the holy energy in you surges, and Val, you are back to 2 hit points. Your eyes flutter open, and you see the scaly face of your brother looking down.
I kind of grab his arm and just slowly help him to his feet, kind of hug him, pat him on the back, and
What happened?
welcome back, brother. A lot happened, so we'll...
Hey, I'm alive.
You are alive, yes.
Must be because of you again. What happened?
Every time, yeah. It's usually how it works, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I had to kind of take care of the rest of the foes that were in the room, but as you can see, they are no more.
Wow. Oh man, it hurts so much. Where's Kismet?
Kismet's over there. He's not doing so good. He's breathing, but I don't know what kind of state or condition he's in. You definitely took quite a hit. I mean, there was a flurry of attacks, and I had to take out Clark, the dog, and this goblin shooting arrows at everybody.
Who hit me?
I don't even know. I was literally focusing on fighting and just killing as many people as possible. I turn around and both you and Kismet are out. And I'm left in the room with the 3 of them.
Val, the last thing you remember is just these tendrils of dark energy swirling around you before it all went dark.
Do we win?
Yeah, something like that.
I'm just gonna be on the corner, just
I'm like-
taking a breather.
Hey Kismet, welcome back. I thought you were a goner.
Ow.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
You are currently, Kismet, at 1 hit point.
Oh my god. I got 2 at least. I'm really ready for a nap, guys.
Yeah, I could go for one of those as well. I just got Val back up. You both were out, and I was just telling him I was left in the room still with Clark, this hound, and a goblin that loves throwing arrows at people. So
I want to interject like right there and be like, did you check there's nobody else?
I did. I assessed kind of the area. There's nobody. I just kind of hear the chains of the dogs downstairs and trickling water. Nothing else.
Did you check for traps?
No, actually I haven't, but I haven't gone very far. Just brought Val back to his feet, and then you woke up. So I'm glad to have you back.
I'm just gonna start snoring.
All right.
I'm
So-
just gonna straight up start snoring.
Val has already started his long rest.
Okay, he's a standing vampire rest. Got it. Fantastic.
So, for the for you two, since we're going to take a long rest, Which of you two wants to take first watch?
I'll take first watch.
All right,
I'll take
Grenton.
first watch since I have the most health and still battle ready for sure.
All right, Grenton, and then
Hoping nothing else comes, but
then you can wake up one of your two compatriots from there now for a second watch. Then.
yeah.
All right, go ahead and give me a perception check for your watch.
18.
18. Still the ambient sounds of the cave. Once you hear kind of the chains rattle a little bit coming from this small opening on the western side of the room, you can tell that's the opening that leads down very steeply towards where the wolves were chained up.
Okay. Is there do I see a ladder? Is there any way that someone can come up from inside of that?
No, it's about a 15 to 20 foot drop. It's almost a completely vertical, natural chimney
Okay.
between the two rooms. Looking at some of the bits on closer inspection of rotting food and stuff around the edge of this seems to have been used almost as a garbage chute down to the wolves.
Okay.
And it's about 3, maybe 4 feet wide, roughly in circular in shape. If somebody was going to try to climb up it, it would take them quite a lot of effort to shimmy up, and certainly not without making noise.
Okay. So I just want to make sure that no one's gonna come up behind us again.
Given that perception check, it doesn't sound at all like anybody's coming.
Okay.
Like I said, you do hear the rattling of the chains.
Yeah.
And you hear a little bit of growling and snapping, but then it quickly calms down.
And snoring from my compatriots over here.
There was a lot of snoring from the two corners of the room where they're at.
Okay.
But then after a while, the chains soften a little bit. And you guess that they were just playing or play fighting with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Who takes second watch?
I'll go ahead and wake up Kismet.
All right. Kismet.
I'll let my brother rest.
So you get woken up for watch.
Okay.
Hey, it's your turn.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and roll perception for your watch.
That is a 20.
Jesus.
All right.
We're very perceptive.
You don't hear anything that catches your attention whatsoever. Still the consistent snoring from Val, and every once in a while
I yell a little bit.
he jerks in his sleep, apparently having an unpleasant dream. And the low snores from Grenton. Otherwise, your watch passes uneventfully.
Oh, right.
Then Kismet wakes up Val for the final watch.
All right. What do I want to do?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right. Oh, that's actually perception's 23, and that's the first 20 of the night.
All right. Total of 23. All right. Most of your watch, just the ambient sounds, trickling of water from the stream coming from the next room. You don't hear anything from the wolves down below. But getting towards the end of your watch, what you surmise would be the coming morning. You hear this very subtle, stealthy sound coming from the room leading into this one. And you kind of very carefully cock an ear out. It sounds like movement. What do you do?
I immediately go to Grenton and just tap him. It's like, hey, I think there's somebody here.
Yeah. What?
I think there's somebody here.
Oh, okay. I jump up quickly, quietly.
All right. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Awesome.
A disadvantage since you wear heavy clinging armor.
11.
All right.
Disadvantage.
So he gets up. There's still some noise, but for a large humanoid wearing chainmail, it's relatively stealthy. But as you turn back to check on the entryway while rousing him, you see the small form of a goblin with a short bow aimed right at you. And as he starts to notch his bow, You see an arrow take him right in the side of the head, pinning him to the cave wall. And he just
I'm frozen there with my tail.
slowly just drops his hands, and the bow and arrow just clatter to the ground. His body is still just impaled, hanging there.
What in the world?
Kismet. Kismet. Hey, wake up.
We win.
Yeah.
Yes. You were sleeping.
Again, we did, yes.
We got company.
And then coming from that other cavern, you hear Silder's voice. He says, "Well, you almost did. You missed one."
Grenton, I thought you'd check.
I did and didn't hear anything. He must have been extremely stealthy or asleep.
Sees Silder can walk in the room, and he's wearing, cobbled together from two smaller sets of armor, some goblin leather that he's got kind of rough tied as makeshift protection. He's got one of the goblin scimitars, and he's holding one of their short bows. He goes over to the goblin that he pinned to the wall, picks up the arrows that it dropped, and puts them in his quiver, and he goes, "I'm happy to see that you three survived, and oh good, Clark didn't."
Yeah,
No.
We wouldn't be here if we...
I made sure of that.
Yeah, piece of cake.
Oh,
I don't know what happened.
I figured either that you three were dead or that he'd run away.
Nope, not that either. There are extra arrows, though, from the other goblins that love to shoot, if you want some.
Well, you take all the help I can get, and you see him start gathering up the additional arms. While he's doing that, what do you three do at the end of your rest here?
I want, now that we have Silver and he can watch over them too, I just want to go into the other room a little bit farther behind.
I point out to Kismet the crates that I noticed in the corner of the room, and I say, do you know anything about these? Is this part of what we're supposed to be bringing back?
All right. So you guys go to investigate the crates?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And you are going
While looking
where
for
now?
traps.
Good to know.
I'm actually gonna let them handle that. I just want to go, like, relax a little bit more to the other room because some personal business.
Okay. So you head into
The previous room where
previous
Silver.
room. Okay. So you go into the other room. The small cistern is still kind of outflowing from where the goblins damaged it, springing their trap. The water's still flowing out from there into the rest of the cave system.
Do you need a torch, brother?
I got it, and so I'll turn on a torch so I can actually go past the bridge onto the that first room where it starts slopping, where we had to go up.
Oh, okay. So you go into the room where you discovered Silder.
Yeah.
I beat
Okay.
him to the lighting, and I spit fire on the torch. Thanks. You're welcome.
All right. So you enter the.
As usually, I got you.
You enter the small room where there's that large escarpment, a couple of goblin bodies still in here where you left them. And what do you do?
I actually want to make sure that there's nobody there.
Okay. Go ahead, give me a perception check.
Okay. That is a 22.
22. There is absolutely nobody here but you and the corpses.
I actually want to do a prayer to Timora.
All right. What's your prayer?
Timora, watch over me and my brother. Let the light that you shine over our dice and cards also shine over our shields. And I want to flip the coin that I had in my pocket. And I just want to make, as an offering for her, to
Okay.
see how her luck will be throughout the day.
All right. So as you flick the coin in the air, you watch as it rapidly spins end over end. And in the flickering torchlight, you see through the glinting on the coin, for the first time ever, you see a series of images come to you through this rapid fire. First is red cloth and green scales and an eye with a purple iris. And the coin lands in your hand, head facing up. And you hear a voice.
Okay.
It says, "Change is coming. make it for the better. Find our sign.
Okay, find our sign. Well, that's strange. I've never heard my coin talk to me.
I was about to say, you've never heard any voices or anything like that before.
I mean, it's kind of the first time I've really been that scared for my life. I don't think I've been knocked out that bad, since we don't usually venture out of the city.
That is the closest you have ever come to death's door.
Okay, I actually want to then go back and I want to tell Grenton what I heard.
Okay. All right. So while he is taking his time for himself, you two, one of you can investigate the crates and the other can help, or you can individually investigate. Which would you like to do?
I'll help so that way you can roll with advantage. I think your investigation's higher.
All right, Grenton, you roll twice, keep the higher number.
16.
All right, with a total of 16, you don't find any traps
Yeah.
at all.
Good. I hate those.
As you start moving some of the items around, nothing jumps out, tries to sting you or anything.
Perfect.
The three crates stand out as being newer than the rest of the refuse. Most of what used to be here were smaller boxes and crates, and what seems to have been one barrel, most of them smashed into small flinders. The last item, as you're kind of digging around in there, is a bit of cloth, looks like a traveling cloak of some kind that is for a person of much smaller stature than yourself, either dwarven or maybe halfling in size.
What color is it?
It is a dark gray.
Okay. I'll put in my bag.
Am I back into the room as they're checking into this?
As he's looking around, you see, as he's just kind of moving these three large crates, the three that are relatively pristine, you go to move one and it's a good 100 pounds.
Okay.
And as you kind of jostle a little bit, you hear kind of heavy metal rattling around in there.
Okay.
And on the front of it, you see this kind of lion head symbol that has been embossed on all three of the crates.
Okay.
Now, Kismet, you recognize this as the symbol of the Lion Shield Coster, which is an outfitter that you've heard of. They do have at least one store that you know of in Neverwinter. And you had heard that they were looking to set up in Phandelver as well. They cater more to the adventuring crowd as opposed to general tradesmen, which you know is what Barathan's provisions more caters towards. And then right as you guys kind of assess all those items, you look over and you see Silder's just cleaning his weapons, and Val returns.
Okay. I look at Kismet. What do you think about these? Do you know anything about these crates, or should we see what's inside?
I don't know anything about these crates, but I think I know who they belong to.
Okay.
I'm okay with opening them. But first I want to see if there's any clues for the whereabouts of Gundren.
Okay. As you see Grenton kind of pick up the cloak and kind of look over at it, you recognize this as the cloak that Gundren was wearing when he set off.
Okay.
Okay. I can't hear it.
So I don't know what this cloak is or if it's useful. It doesn't fit me, so.
It looks like the cloak that Gundren was wearing last time I saw him.
Okay. Do you want it?
Silder, do you recognize it?
Or Silder, do you have interest?
And Silder kind of glances over and goes, yeah, that was Gundren's.
Is it in pristine condition, or does it seem like it has any holes or anything like that?
As you take a look at it, you can see a couple of slashes in it.
Oh, okay.
It's not like blood or gore soaked, but it does look like it was worn in some type of combat.
Okay. Well, then I don't see any blood on it. So
I'll leave it here unless anyone wants it. I have no use
let's
for
take
it.
it with us.
So, okay.
I'll put it on my pack.
All right, I hand it to Val.
Okay.
Anything out there, Val?
No, I don't even see except the bodies.
Okay.
But can I talk to you on the side?
Sure. Okay.
So while they go off to converse, I'm gonna go loot the bodies.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and give me an investigation check.
That's a 3.
That's a 3. Okay. So you guys, we will return to that in just a moment.
So I pull him aside, and I actually go and I tell him, hey, normally, you know me, I don't pray that much,
Yeah.
but after all this, I felt like I needed to, and I think I saw something.
Okay. In the cave?
You know me, I don't.
Right. No.
I do.
Yeah, but what did you see?
Well, I saw images of my coin, my lucky coin.
Like the face on the head side of the coin?
Yeah, no, it was something else. I saw like a red cloth, green scales, an eye with a purple iris.
Was this like a vision hallucination?
I'm under a lot of stress, so I really can't tell you,
Alright.
but I did hear a voice also.
Okay.
I'm just freaking out. It says change is coming and find your sign, or our sign, basically. So
So it was like a voice in your head, not
I
like
think-
someone I need to go take care of in the cave.
I think Tamora was talking to me, man.
Wow. Okay. I mean, that's pretty powerful.
Do I sound crazy when I say this?
A little, but I mean, I'm okay with that. I kind of put my hand on his shoulder, like, look, it's okay.
Look, I'm freaking out, man.
Like, I understand. Well, you're alive. Thank Timora that you're alive. So maybe she is watching out for you. Not as much as I am, that's for sure.
Yeah, but we're not supposed to be these heroes that the gods talk to.
No, I mean, I've not heard of anything, so maybe we'll just take this as a sign of positivity that we're on the right track, right path.
Well, let's just keep our eyes out, see if we see anything that's Timora.
What did the coin turn up?
I mean, it just has.
Heads?
That's it.
Well, that's not a tails, and it wasn't negative, so
Hey, that sounds good.
yeah. So we'll just keep moving forward and keep a careful eye out on our path. You know I have your back.
Kismet, investigating the bodies with a 3. What you find on Clark is kind of rifling through. He's not wearing much in the way of armor, but you do find under one of his wristlets is a small scrap of what appears to be parchment, although it's very dingy and worn. And it says, Dwarf, Cragmaw C. Cragmaw in the letter C.
Cragmaw, letter C, and dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen, I think I found maybe a clue of where our friend may be. And I asked Isildur, have you ever heard of any place called Cragmaw C, like the letter C?
No, it's not ringing any bells to me.
I found this, and it says dwarf, and then some odd location.
Oh. That must be the missive that Clark got from the Black Spider for what to do with Grenton, but I have no idea where that is. I know this is the Cragmaw tribe of goblins, but I mean, they've never been this organized before, and to have a location, this doesn't bode well at all.
Am I hearing this? Am I nearby?
Yeah, they're conversing at normal level.
So I ask him, he says that and triggers me of, normally they're not, you're right. Do you know of anyone or someone that could be hiring them or kind of bringing them together? Because you're not wrong. For them to have an ambush and this stronghold of sorts, it's unusual.
His brow furrows, and he thinks for a minute, and he just kind of shakes his head, and he goes, I don't know who would be running a bunch of goblins as mercenaries. I mean, they're the most unreliable things I could think of. But also, too, I mean, they wouldn't have any interest normally in a dwarf mine. I mean, this is just a tribe of goblins. Whomever this black spider is, that's what makes me concerned. I don't think things are going well in Phandelver. Go ahead and give me a insight check. All of you, actually.
18.
18? He definitely seems to be holding something back.
Well, I got 17.
17? Yeah, you can see he's not being very forthcoming with the information.
I want to kind of, since I'm feeling that from him, kind of assess that. And so I ask him, and there's no other information that you have that can help us in this matter?
Give me a persuasion check.
Can I use intimidation?
Maybe.
19?
I mean, are you inquiring or are you threatening him?
No, I'm just kidding. Actually, it's a 21.
21. He looks at the three of you. He just, looks you guys up and down. You see him think for a moment. And he goes, all right, you three seem more than capable, and I think all of us are actually in over our head. So let me level with you. More than a good 500 years ago, the dwarves of the Thaneholds made an agreement with the city of Neverwinter, known as Phandelver's Pact. There was a mine the dwarves discovered in a place called Wave Echo Cave. It not only was the mine very rich in gems and ore, but I don't know if it's a concourse of ley lines. I'm not the most versed in arcane matters, but I do know that there was a power source they found in the cave. And the pact was set up so that the dwarves would share access to this with the mages of Neverwinter. They were able to channel and bind that energy into a forge known as the Forge of Spells. And they were able to make very, very powerful weapons and armor with this. It afforded a great degree of protection to Neverwinter and the other cities along the Sword Coast. To try to keep an eye on things, a town named Phandelver was set up near the location of the cave, and the town also prospered from the trade garnered out of the cave. Eventually, the pact fell apart, either greed or war, I don't know. But the cave was eventually assaulted by a very overwhelming force of orcs trying to seize it. Those who still were loyal to the pact trying to defend the forge, and the ensuing battle destroyed much of the cavern. The orcs later sacked Phandelver in reprisal along their warpath for losing this. Only a few survived the cave-ins, and the location of the cave itself, Wave Echo Cave, was lost. Now, the Lord's Alliance has been trying to unite more cities further inland away from the Sword Coast. And one of our best routes is the Tribor Trail. And the key to securing the trail is to reestablish Phandelver. However, if that forge still survives, it's something that has to be secured. It poses an incredible threat if it falls into the wrong hands. Any type of weapons that could be made with this pose not only a danger to the people now trying to settle Phandelver, but Neverwinter
even Waterdeep itself. I hired Gundren and his brothers, Nundro and Tharden, to try to find it. They're known as some of the best prospectors out of Neverwinter, and if anyone could find it, I figured they could. I sent them out a year ago to try to find this. And also 2 months ago, I dispatched a wizard that served under me, named Inaro Albrecht, to establish Alliance presence in Phandelver. Several families have traveled to Phandelver over the last year or so to reestablish the town. Now that the orcs are all but wiped out, and I felt they needed protection. Gundren came to me a week ago and told me that they had found the cave, and I immediately sent word to Iarno to prepare for our arrival, but I received no reply. Something is definitely wrong. Iarno could have replied back magically, and I heard nothing. So I decided to escort Gundren back to Phandelver myself, and here we are.
Is there a possibility that Inaro would have betrayed you?
I mean, anything's possible, but he's been a loyal member of the Lord's Alliance for years. I wouldn't have sent him out if I didn't think he was not loyal and capable.
Grenton, should we be getting mixed up in this?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely want to help out in any way we can. We do have a quest nonetheless to head to the town and at least bring back the cart and complete. We did do this as a job. We were hired to do this.
I know Gundren offered you each 10 gold to deliver the supplies to Phandelver, but if you assist me in securing Phandelver and helping me establish what's going on in Phandelver, I would be happy to commission you each 50 gold to be in the employ of the Lord's Alliance.
Well, you're just talking my language now.
I'm on board with that.
I'm on board until at least we discover what happened to Gundren.
We have to get to Phandelver and find out what's going on, and then from there,
Find out what Cragmaw Sea is.
we have to find out anything we can about Gundren's whereabouts and the whereabouts of his map.
Yeah.
Did you ever take a good look at this map?
I did not. Gundren kept it very much to himself.
Even though he worked for you?
And you know dwarves.
I mean, now we're in this thing just because of that.
Well, we also, if they, like he said, the cave and the weaponry fall into the wrong hands, it's not just that town that's at danger, it's other towns as well.
I'm not worried about myself, man. I just don't want to see anything happen to you.
I'll be fine.
I mean, you always got my back, I know.
Yeah. I definitely think we can assist you at least as much as possible until we can't. So let's assess this area, find out what these crates behold. I also want to check the bodies
Okay.
as well.
All right, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
14.
14. You find a couple of empty quivers on the goblins. You see that Silder's now got a full quiver of arrows. He had already beat you to them. You don't find any valuables on any of the goblins, nothing that really piques your interest. Their armor is half busted. One of their armor is totally busted from
And on
the
Clark?
explosion of dark energy from earlier.
Yeah.
On Clark, you kind of give him the full once over, and you find a small, hand-sized golden statue of a frog
Okay.
with small emeralds for eyes.
Okay.
It doesn't have any other insignia or anything on it. Maybe it was a good luck charm of his, or maybe it was just something he took off the last guy he met.
It's just pretty and shiny.
It's pretty and shiny, and that does it for goblins and goblin-kin.
Yeah.
And dragon.
Anything else?
And now Dragonborn.
And now Dragon.
That's it from rifling the bodies. So now that you guys have completed your long rest, you guys are now level 2.
Great.
Yay.
Yes.
Sweet.
All right, now that you're leveled up to level 2, what are you guys doing?
I think that I'm going to take a peek inside these crates.
Okay.
Or attempt to.
All right, they are still nailed shut. You try to pry it up, and there's no give to it whatsoever.
Do we have any weaponry or anything?
I mean, I have a spear that I could jam into it, but
Can I,
without
How-
breaking the crate, I don't know if that's going to be feasible.
my knowledge of so can I use the sword to kind of
Like try to
almost
use
like
it
a
like a
paint
shimmy?
can? Yeah, shimmy between and use my strength to gently maneuver each corner.
Oh god.
Well, since you said gently,
Well, yeah,
give me
the stronger I am, the more gentle I can be.
both a athletics check and a dexterity check.
21 for athletics.
Okay, and now a straight dexterity check, please.
Do I get a modifier?
Your dex
Oh yeah.
bonus.
So 17.
17. Okay.
21 and 17.
You are able to slip in between the top face of the crate. You kind of wedge your longsword in there, and weirdly, deftly, you wouldn't have expected it from Grenton, but he's able to kind of pry it up like a crowbar.
Hey,
Um,
crocodiles
See
can
him like
hold
using
babies.
his pink is out and
Yeah,
everything.
it's just pinky and thumb.
Just
Uh,
daintily.
Just very, very, very daintily. It's like he's handling very delicate macrame. But
You don't know my life.
after a few moments,
I do.
you do pop the lid off of one of the crates, and packed in here very, very densely in hay and wrapped in oiled cloth are armor and weapons.
What kind of armor?
There is a set of a couple sets of leather armor. You find one set of chainmail and a couple sets of scale mail.
Is any of it better than what I have?
No.
Okay,
You already have.
I figure.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no. There's nothing in here better than what you are currently equipped with.
I say to Kismet, well, this looks like it might have some value to someone. You said you recognized the symbol, but
Going by the symbol, it should be the Lion Shield Coster. I don't know if they have one out here. They were supposed to put one out here.
we can always ask when we get into town if anybody knows.
Well, there's no hurt in returning somebody else's goods.
But yeah, no, I'm especially if could be possible payment. So, do you want to help out? We can try to get these back to the cart. I think I should be able to carry it. I've shoved it around. It's very,
I
very
can help
heavy,
you, Kismet.
but I don't think I
What
should
if-
have a problem carrying.
What if we lower them down the chute? I can tie knots.
Okay.
Are the wolves still there?
Those are probably easily dispatched.
You keep an ear out, and
Yeah.
you do hear the chains moving downstairs.
Yeah.
You know what we should do is probably feed the wolves again. I look over at the goblin like you want to throw one down.
I do. Yeah, let's do that.
So do I.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll grab one.
So there are two goblins who are in a few pieces. There's one goblin run through, and then there's Clark Sand's head.
I'll help with Clark.
We should do that whistle so they know that it's still us.
Okay.
And we'll just chuck them down there and see what happens.
So I'll grab Clark's body, headless body, and drag it
Can
over
I
the
throw
hole.
the head?
Sure. I'll
Okay.
let you throw the head.
Grenton, you go over to the
Since he
hole,
smashed you in the face.
and you start jamming Clark's body into the hole.
Okay.
And
Here, use,
it's a tight fit. He barely fits in here.
use my spear.
And you start like trying to plunger him in there. You start stomping on it, and you are able to firmly wedge his carcass in about 3 feet down.
Oh,
Well, at least we can use the boxes and like to push it down a little bit. Give me a hand.
so he's stuck in there, huh?
He's stuck in the chute.
Yeah,
Okay.
give me a hand.
Do you want to try to see if these 100 or so pound boxes can
Help.
use his body as a dampening protection on the way down, just in case.
Put
We
a
don't wanna break
rope
them.
on it has handles, correct?
It does.
Okay,
It does have,
We don't wanna
two
break the
slits on the
crates.
side. You can see that these were designed to have a couple of poles slid through the sides to kind of be lifted by
Well, in
people.
all
I
honesty,
also-
if it goes down, I'd rather the crates hit his body as cushioning
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
than break.
Yeah,
him.
but I don't want them to break, so just put a rope just in case and we'll...
No, no,
to,
well-
Well, yeah, in
loosely
case
hold
if
it.
anything happens, I'd rather it fall on his body than hit like solid stone and break it.
That's fine.
I also take the lid that I removed and I kind of find the lineup of the
holes and just
nails
try to
and,
hammer
and
it
then
back
I
in.
take the back of my sword and kind of just after I lined up the nails in the holes and kind of
All right.
smack them back down and make it look like nothing ever happened. Never even opened.
They don't look worse for wear.
Okay.
We'll say that.
Yeah.
All right, so you cinch a rope.
I'll be the base.
You'll be the pulley.
I'll be the pulley. I am the pulley. Yes.
I'm still gonna
The
attempt to
counterweight?
push down a little bit on the crate so I can push Clark's body in.
Okay.
Teamwork, guys!
I'll give you 20 copper if you jump on top of it, jump up and down on it.
I look at Grenton. What do you think?
No.
Okay, let's do this.
All right, so you lower the crate in, and it once it starts resting its weight firmly on Clark's body, it slowly starts to shimmy down. You hear some ripping, tearing sounds.
Like, all right, 25 copper.
Make it 1 gold and I'll try.
Sold.
Oh God.
All right,
Hold the rope.
he tosses
Okay,
you
okay.
a gold coin.
Hold the rope. Now I'm really like anchoring my heels into the stone beneath my feet, trying to grab any grip that I can while holding the rope as I see my idiot brother at this moment climb upon the crate.
I'll use
For a
this money
gold.
wisely though.
And at this point, it starts aggressively slipping
Can I
down.
like hold myself to the wall?
You
at the
can
same
a little
time?
bit, but it's a controlled slide. It's
Yeah.
going down at this
It's
point.
fine, it's fine.
You're supposed to jump up and down.
Okay, I'm like, and I start going like gently.
You jump up once and it just goes out from underneath you and you just kind of hit.
Okay, and I hold and I like pull me up.
I yank as best I can and I slow it as much as possible.
Oh, this is worth it.
All right, go ahead. Give me an athletics check on this.
That's a cock die, but it's either 20
No, it's cocked eye.
so 21.
21.
Or-
All right, you, given all of this weight, you are able to slow its descent. You are not able to pull this thing back up. There is a good 200 something pounds already momentuming itself down.
I yell down if to Val, if the dogs, whistle.
The wolves.
But I say if the wolves attack, even though they're chained, but we don't know where you are above them.
Yeah.
Right.
So if the
Right at
wolves
this
There's
attack,
a body, there's a box, and I'm on top.
I say cut the rope.
Right at this moment, Clark's body impacts the bottom. The crate lands right on top of him, and the opening is about up to your thighs. You duck down and see 3 wolves darting right at you.
I hold the rope and I just start like trying to like.
Try to climb up?
Yep.
All right, give me an athletics check to climb the rope.
Now that I've seen all this happen, I'm gonna run over, grab the rope with Grenton, and start
That's
pulling
cool.
up too.
Okay, I mean, you guys are pulling, but it's still secured to the crate.
Yeah, cut the rope if you have to.
21.
21. That's enough, especially given
And
how close the walls are to the shimmy. He starts you guys are starting to get just a little bit right as Val scampers up the rope out of the chimney.
Like, yes, that was
And you hear
goal.
this thrashing, tearing, bone snapping sound coming up from the chimney.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to safely remove those boxes unless we let them go or something.
I look
Wonderful.
at Val and I say, don't ever do that again.
I mean, it's 1 goal. Come on,
Yeah,
I got you. I mean, you literally got me.
I know. Usually.
I would say that I'm sorry, but I'm not.
No, I know.
Okay,
So
so
say that I wouldn't have done it in your
1
position,
gold.
but
Yes.
you have 1 crate down at the bottom of that chimney, and there are 2 more. Silder's just sitting in the back of the cavern, just shaking his head like, oh.
Val goes for a fist bump to me, and I'm just like, I leave him hanging.
Anybody volunteer to like let them go or something?
No. So
Well, I'm not going down there until...
Finishing story, you didn't cut the rope, did you?
Nope.
So we have a rope tied to a crate at the bottom of a cavern.
We can go down and dispatch the wolves.
Okay.
I mean, Silder has like 40,000 arrows that he's gotten from...
Can we ask Silder to go and take out some wolves as he's exiting the cave?
I mean, you really gotta kill him?
We can't do much now.
Yeah, Silver just... I'll handle this. You two go back to your betting game.
Hey.
And he just
Wuggle.
kind
I
of
tell
angrily
Silver-
stomps out of the room.
I tell Silver, as you take care of the wolves, can you please untie the rope so we can use it for the other crates? Since
We each have like 50 foot rope.
okay, but all right,
You just hear echoing back from the cave, I'll handle it.
all right.
And a couple minutes go by, and you hear...
Aww.
And you hear up from the chimney, goes, you're good.
All
And
right.
I feel like there's no weight. I just kind of sling the rope back up top.
Well, since he's down there,
There
I'm
goes
like,
our
hey, Silder,
pets.
can you drag that out of the way so we can drop the next one?
It's already moved.
Wow, he's very strong
So
for
I'm
a
gonna go
little
ahead
guy.
and go around
Mm-hmm.
and meet him at the bottom.
As you come around, you see him just dragging the crate out to the edge of the stream as it's flowing past that alcove.
So there's still 2 crates up top.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys just hoist them down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's well within your skill set to do so now that there isn't the...
Well, I've also and I think I rolled to have it high enough to.
Yeah. So that's about 15 minutes or so of just making sure the knots are secure and lowering them down so they don't just smash at the bottom. But
Yep.
you easily get all 3 of these crates out. Between Kismet and Val, they're able to carry one, you're able to carry one, and you see, with some difficulty, Silder's able to kind of
Drag.
drag, half carry one of them.
Okay.
I mean,
Gosh, stop slowing us down.
he seems pretty healthy at this point. You can see as he's been maneuvering the cart, you see that he had found his injuries.
He probably found
the
some
day
rations
before.
at the cart also.
And he seems to be back with you.
Okay.
Better not have taken anything.
So are we
So
back at the cart?
It takes you a good hour to haul all this stuff back, but you guys do make it back to the cart. You see that the cart had been moved further up the road, away from where the ambush had initially taken place. Silder had secured it further down and further in a place where it was more off the road. He was able to hide it better,
Okay.
using some of the foliage. Just kind of glancing at everything, you see that this guy's had a military career with training to be familiar with these types of actions. But you guys get the new crates tied and secured onto your cart, and Silder hops up onto the shotgun position, the front of the cart, and
Forgot to yell shotgun.
just looks at the 3 of you and goes, all right, are we ready or what?
I'm ready. I'll walk alongside of the cart, kind of keeping my eye out for any other ambush that
Okay.
possibly could come about.
Keeping a walking lookout?
Yeah, I'll keep looking through the trees as much as possible. Just kind of scanning the area while I'm next to the oxen.
Okay, and then Kismet, are you back to driving?
We're about to find out.
All right.
I'll just take a look behind us since everybody's looking forward.
Okay, go ahead. You two give me perception checks. You give me an animal handling check.
11.
11. Okay.
4 perception.
4?
That was a 1.
Okay. Well, I mean, thankfully, not only in 5th edition is there no such thing as a critical failure, but there's really no absolute failures on a skill check.
Sure. I feel like a failure.
Thankfully.
I mean, I'm sure you're critically hurt emotionally, but
Yeah. Thanks, Tamara.
so the oxen take just a moment to rouse, but you get them
13.
Get them going at a steady pace further down the road. Grenton, looking about, you just see the deep woods, pines, maples. You hear the sounds of ambient animals, birds calling. And Val, as you're looking back through the road, as it hits kind of a rut in the road. A little bit of dust is kicked up from the oxygen. You get a little in your eye. You kind of wipe it out, but you don't see anything behind you. Just at that ambush bend in the road.
We're good here. We're good here, guys.
All right, so it takes you about 2 more hours traversing through the woods before they start to thin out. Kind of just keeping your head on a swivel. But by, I'd say, mid-afternoon, the woods really start to thin out, and you see in this part of the ground of the land, the terrain is more hilly, so your line of sight doesn't go particularly far even with the thin trees. But you crest over a ridge, and the woods open up into a cleared small valley. And you see a small village below you that the trail cuts right through the middle of. The town itself seems to consist of about 40 or 50 simple log buildings, some of which are built on old flagstone foundations. You see more old ruins, crumbling stone walls covered in ivy and briars that surround the inner part of the town where the new construction is. And you can tell and think back to what Silder had said earlier, that this was at one point a much, much larger town that is now in the very early stages of being reborn. Most of the newer buildings are set right alongside the main trail, which widens into a kind of a muddy main street as it climbs eventually past an old ruined manor house on the far side of the town, before it starts to ascend back up the hillsides and into the woods.
Does it appear to be kind of a friendly place? Is there guards on watch outside? Is it like...
From this distance,
as we approach?
As you approach, you do see some people moving about town. Very few, maybe a dozen at most you count. But the road leading into town passes past 2 large stone columns that have crumbled from old field stones. And you can see as you get closer to the columns, you're a good 100 yards away, that there are 6 men all standing around the columns.
6 men?
Mm-hmm.
What do they look like?
Are they in a circle or are they in a group?
They seem to be...
Are they like lined up?
A couple of them are leaning up against the columns. One is kind of standing in the middle. They all seem to be talking to each other. As you get now closer, you can see that they're all wearing leather armor, and they all have short swords on their belts.
Like a militia?
They do look organized, and you see that each of them has a red sash around their waists.
Grenton.
Mm-hmm.
Remember I told you something about red?
Mm-hmm. I remember red. Was it?
Yeah, like the red cloth.
Okay.
I think we gotta be careful with these people.
Okay. I still have my sword sheathed, but my shield is a little closer to my body.
Okay.
Keeping an eye
since
on
I'm on the
them.
back, I'm gonna actually lower myself
Okay.
and put my shield already.
Are you trying to hide?
I'm actually trying to hide. Yeah,
All right, go ahead. Give me a stealth check.
Okay. That is actually 20 modified.
Oh, very nice. Yes, you hunker down. As far as you can tell, you are all but invisible to these gentlemen. At this point,
Are they in the road?
they have all now at this point turned to face your cart as you are approaching them, and the one in the middle raises its hand up and starts walking towards you with 2 more of the guys behind him, kind of walking a bit in formation.
How far away are they?
They are now about 30 feet as they approach
I
the
look
cart.
up and Kismet, I say, hold on. Let's slow down maybe to a stop here, and let me go.
Yeah, I stop the action. I don't want to run anybody over.
Okay.
I'm like, hi friends, well met.
And the one in front, you can see that now that they're this close, they look a little ratty and threadbare.
What are their facial expressions? Do they look welcoming? Are they angry? Are they skeptical? What do they look like?
They look kind of a little intimidating.
Okay.
They're kind of staring all of you down. The one in front, he's got kind of a mop of dirty blonde hair, several days worth of shadow on his face, and
He wears makeup.
I'm now at this point in front of the cart.
he stops 20 feet away from the car and he goes,
Oi! Welcome to Phandelver. By order of the glass staff, each visitor must pay the toll to enter the town.
I also, I'm in front of the oxen to a degree, because again, I was walking out in front. I kind of also look back, not only at Kismet, but also at Sildar. And I kind of just want to assess, like, because has he ever been here before? I ask him if he knows them, pretty much. Hey, do you know these guys, as we approach them?
Silver goes,
I have no idea what's going on here.
Okay.
We're really being shaken down.
I say, toll.
Yeah. Everyone who enters the town of Phandelver has to pay a toll of 5 gold.
Jesus.
And who would that be to?
To the glass staff.
And they are?
Glass staff runs the town.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
We were never told.
Well, you've been told now.
Well, we have some business in town. Maybe we handle this first, the business.
If it's in town, the entrance fee is 5 gold, sir.
That's a pretty steep cost for... And I look kind of over his shoulder and behind him at this town, and it doesn't look like it's much for the dollar. So that's a pretty steep price for your...
Well, you know, it's an up-and-coming town, and we're looking to invest in the infrastructure, let's say.
You don't look like the investing type.
And also not much of a conversationalist either, so...
Neither am I.
So I kind of stand up, and I look at him. Like, are we talking 5 gold each or 5 gold for the whole cart?
5 gold each. Cart, no charge. I'm feeling generous today.
So it's up to you what the toll is.
Oh, it's up to the glass staff. I'm just speaking for the man.
Well, I'd like to speak with him.
Well, again, he's in the town. You want to enter the town. That's 5 gold.
He can exit the town for free, or is that an extra toll?
That depends on how you're exiting.
Okay, so I have a question for you. If I leave the town and I come back, are they paying 5 gold?
What is this, Disney?
you see him smirk, and he kind of elbows the guy next to him and he goes,
Look at this one. We got us a comedian. He definitely has the money.
So I have my hand on the sword at this moment, and I want to be as intimidating as possible at this point. And I tell them I don't think this payment is worthy.
I look over at Grenton and I go, wheel arm.
Okay, and I understand exactly. So I say, yeah, I'm not paying.
As soon as he says that, I'm going to bonus action my tentacle right behind those 3 guys.
And since I know what Grenton means, I'm actually gonna...
Do I need to roll for intimidation?
that time has passed with the tentacle erupting hound. We are at the initiative.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to House of Crit Presents The Lost Mine of Phandelver. Join us next time as the adventure continues. If you like our content, please like, share, and comment. For more House of Crit, you can join us at houseofcrit.com and on our YouTube channel. Click on the links in the description below for more Dungeons & Dragons content, and be sure to check out Behind the Screen, a roundtable discussion featuring the Dungeon Masters of House of Crit.